So yesterday I got put in Facebook jail for calling British people, which by the way is obviously a group of people to which I belong. I got put in Facebook jail for calling them filthy gibbons for instance, leaving crisp packets in the street and pissing on public toilets or pissing all over public toilets in general, whereas I rarely see that sort of behaviour in other countries in Europe or in other countries generally speaking. And our country, the United Kingdom, Great Britain, Northern Ireland, seems to me, having spent a lot of time living in it, to be, and elsewhere, somewhat dirty and untidy and run down compared to a lot of other countries in Europe and elsewhere. So they're saying like, oh, this constitutes hate speech. It's like, fuck you people. And but furthermore, they also did that in like total ignorance of the fact that I was getting bullied and harassed on this group called the Boring Group on Facebook. And firstly, like British is not a racial or ethnic category. It isn't one. It's a lot of it's a national identity. That's all it is. And is it xenophobia for me to have said this about British people? I don't think it's xenophobia at all. I think it's a reasonable criticism of our country and our people, and that frankly we could be doing more to. But yeah, like under the UN Covenant on Hate Speech, the UK law only determines that hate speech has occurred if it's an incitement to religious or racial hatred. So yeah, as a racial category, British, I don't think is one. So I'm going to go into like the dictionary definitions now of what race, of what determines race in this sense. So race is defined as each of the major groupings into which humankind is considered in various theories or contexts to be divided on the basis of physical characteristics or shared ancestry. The fact or condition of belonging to a racial division or group, or the qualities or characteristics associated with this group of people sharing the same culture, history, language, etc., an ethnic group, a group or set of people or things with a common feature or features. So, for instance, if you have British people of Indian or Pakistani descent, we don't share their history, language, or culture, or we do as British people, and like on that level to a pretty superficial extent, and not to a very great extent. I wouldn't have said a shared ancestry and culture. If they're from the Islamic world, they probably don't speak the language. Well, they might not speak the language. They might be British citizens, sure, but they don't speak the language very often. To the same extent that we do when we don't speak their language, and they're of a different religion, so we don't share that either. We don't share the same culture. Not that that's a bad thing at all, but to glibly define Britishness or British people as a group, that in itself is frankly racist, because we're not a group. We're a collection of groups in Britain. Welsh people, Scottish people, Northern Irish people, those are British people. I wouldn't have said that they're racially British, though. And if you were to try and suggest to one of them that they are racially British, I think they'd be kind of offended. And yeah, like the UK government does list white British as an ethnic category on like official documents and so on. And I've always put white British because that's really just like the ethnic category if you don't know what else to put on a form, right? And I'm actually not white British. Well, I'm white, sure, but I mean, if anything, because my name is Cottle, which derives from the Norman conquests, I would be Franco-English with Cornish roots as well. And mother's maiden name is Atkinson. So that's Nordic, Scandinavian. Like, see the problem here, like with these sorts of categories, Britishness can include anything. You might be from the Caribbean, hence you're not racially British. And so, like, Black British is an ethnic category now, but I mean that's just British. If I say Black British, I think that is racism because it's a little bit more specific than just British people in general. And yeah, like there are so many louts in Britain. That's the thing. So many people who do just like leave shit in the street unfortunately, and it seems to not be the case elsewhere. And yeah, like as our fucking drinking culture, see like people pouring out clubs into the streets and screaming on a Saturday night. You don't see that elsewhere. Not so much. Like, I lived in the Netherlands for you never see it in the Netherlands. Like the drinking culture there's so unbelievably civilized. And like, is it hatred? Well, yes, hatred of my own people. I'm not allowed to hate on my own people. Really? Like, who are you to suggest that? Like, or do you know enough about my culture to realize that like there's not problems with it, and that I'm unfairly discriminating against someone or a group of people? I don't think I am unfairly discriminating against them. Thank you very much. And like, what the I is what it is. I think it's a problem of trying to like politically and socially score points, and people want like other people to be impressed with them because you're being racist for a reason, or you're attacking a group. And I'm like, am I being unfair though? I think that's like the major reason when it's unfair, or like you level an unfair criticism at a group of people, or not. Oh, too many fucking idiots out there. I was like, is like stupid people. Like, is that gonna become a protected characteristic in the future? Like people who should fucking know better and have better sense. I can't stand it. This is stupid.